On that note, I would like to ask Reverend Dr. Noel Erskine to open the program with a prayer, and he will be followed by the Jamaican National Anthem and the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing, which will be presented by Mr. Gregory Bryant. Reverend Erskine, turn it over to you.
Thank you. Let us pray. The day goeth away, and the shadows of the evening are stretched out. But it shall come to pass that at evening time there shall be light. God is light, and both the darkness and the light are alike to God. From the rising of the sun to the setting of the same, God's name is to be praised. Oh God, we pause to say thank you. Thank you for your sustaining presence which surrounds us. Your presence which is before us, behind us, and within us. With the psalmist, we say that even when we go through the valley of deepest darkness, you are there with us. So we praise you and we adore you. We ask a special blessing on our honorees, Allan, Alberga, and Anthony Hing. They are your advocates. They speak for you, and your justice guides them. Pour out upon them your healing grace and your mercy, and empower them with your love. Bless our leader, Dr. Bryan, and all who are here. And we do ask now, O God, that you go before us to guide us. Be behind us to keep us from straying. Be around us to defend us, within us to strengthen us, and above us to protect us. And everybody says, Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Bryan and Reverend Erskine. Welcome again, and thanks to everybody for taking time out from your busy schedule to join us for this program tonight. We appreciate it. We know you could be anywhere. You could be out watching the Bob Marley movie, but you chose to be here with us tonight, and I appreciate it. I'm not going to take too much time on the intro here before I turn it over to Dr. Bryan, because we want to get to the outstanding guests and honorees that we have tonight. But I'd just like to give you a little background on the foundation. Many of you probably know Dr. Bryan as the honorary consul for Jamaica in Atlanta. And that's a post that she's held for, I guess, about the last 5 years, and it has made her very visible in the community. But before that, Dr. Bryan was an award-winning and outstanding educator. When she had the idea to start the foundation in 2010, she had recently been the recipient of the Judge Glenda Hatchett Award for mentorship, and the Award for Counselor of the Year by the state of Georgia.
He's on. All right.
2 minutes after.
She wanted to extend her reach beyond the number of people she could touch at Shamley High School. And so she founded the foundation, as I said, in 2010. It got its 501c3 shortly thereafter. And it's been her goal to expand opportunities for students all over Atlanta, the Caribbean, Jamaica, especially Jamaica, but including other parts of the Caribbean as well. And I'd like to give a shout out to her for her vision. She's been able to, with her partnership with Microsoft, she's been able to provide computers through the foundation to students, many students in Jamaica last year. After the COVID, we, I guess, made lemonade out of lemons, but we were able to reach a lot more students with the Zoom.
Show you how it would be. Right.
So you
So
need
without further ado, I would like to introduce you to Dr. Elaine Bryan, the president of the foundation.
Thank you and good evening. Thanks to all of you who are on Zoom today. I really appreciate the fact that you took time out to be here today. Good evening again. And this evening is to celebrate our current pioneers, and I'm trying to keep the focus on them. Thank you so much, everyone who took the time out to be here today. Honorable Allan Terry Long, Member of Parliament, Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Congressman Hank Johnson, Senator Tonya Anderson, Registrar General of Jamaica, Mr. Charlton McFarlane, Senator Donzella James, members of the Georgia Consular Corps, all the Jamaican Pioneers of Georgia, Commissioner Natalie Hall, Minister Chris Scott, representative for Caribbean clergy communities, board members of the Elaine Bryan Foundation, and members of Jamaicans and Partners of Georgia, Mr. Leighton Smith, CEO of Victoria Mutual Group Overseas, Dr. Fred Kennedy, Chair of Grace Kennedy Foundation and author of Firstborn, Jamaica National Group, Jamaica Tourist Board, JICC, couples, and all sponsors on Zoom. Special thanks to my husband, Gregory Scott Vernon Bryan, for his support with this production and many others. There will be 20 minutes after this formal portion for discussions and questions. Special welcome to our surprise guest, Aisha Davis, Microsoft executive. This evening, we will be devoted to our two pioneers. However, here are a few quick announcements. Passport, citizenship, and more community outreach will be held at International Christian Fellowship, 461 School Drive, Southeast Atlanta, Georgia, in May. Annual Inspiration event at Pernocial Park, Sunday, May the 5th. Diaspora Conference in Jamaica, June 16th to the 19th in Montego Bay. Elaine Bryan Foundation Microsoft Summer Programs, June 7th to the 11th in the corporate office in Atlanta. Jamaica Independence Official Church Service, Sunday, August the 18th. Portland Paradise Weekend, August 2nd to the 4th. Please follow the Facebook pages and MailChimp for further details. If there are any official community members or business leaders on Zoom, please send Gregory Bryan or myself your information in the chat. Thank you and enjoy the program. We will now hear from Congressman Hing Johnson. Welcome. Mr. Pleasure, you'll introduce him. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Good evening. My name is Zoran Pledger. I'm the Director of External Affairs for Congressman Hing Johnson. And the next individual you will hear from would be Congressman Johnson, who is currently serving his 9th term in the U.S. House of Representatives from Georgia's 4th Congressional District. This encompasses parts of DeKalb and Newton counties and all of Rockdale County. Congressman Johnson has distinguished himself as a substantive, effective lawmaker and leading national progressive voice. But with all that he does in Washington, D.C., he is recognized as a congressional member who truly works closely with the people. Congressman Johnson has worked closely with the Caribbean community and many times with Dr. Bryan and the Elaine Bryan Foundation on projects such as the Passport Immigration and Citizen Express, as well as Jamaica's 59th Independence Anniversary Program, and also on some of the projects for students who aspire to code and create apps. Without any further ado, I introduce Congressman Hing Johnson.
Thank you, Zoran. Thank you, Dr. Bryan, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is with honor and gratitude that I address you tonight as part of this year's Jamaican Pioneers in Georgia program. I come before you to bring greetings from Georgia's 4th Congressional District. This district currently covers parts of DeKalb and Newton counties, as well as all of Rockdale County. However, due to redistricting, next year, I'll be representing North Gwinnett County in addition to most of DeKalb County, and I will not, unfortunately, be representing Rockdale and Newton counties. But you all will have a great public servant to represent you, and whatever I can do to help those in Rockdale and Newton counties while I'm still here, while I'm still representing you, please feel free to call upon me. Now, allow me to extend a heartfelt thank you to Dr. Elaine Bryan and Mr. Gregory Bryan and the dedicated team at the Elaine Bryan Foundation. Your tireless efforts within our community, especially in nurturing our youth and fostering a sense of community and pride within the Caribbean community, are truly commendable. Dr. Bryan, in her esteemed role as the Honorary Consul General for Jamaica, exemplifies what it means to be a bridge of opportunity for the Jamaican diaspora and the wider Caribbean community. Her commitment to recognizing and celebrating the achievements of today's honorees speaks volumes, and it's evident in the theme of today's event, quote, "Our Stories," end quote. This theme not only honors the Jamaican heritage, but also underscores the importance of storytelling in preserving Jamaican cultural identity and inspiring future generations. This evening, I congratulate 3 pioneers: Attorney Allan Earl Alberga, Attorney Anthony Courtney Lee Hing, and Dr. Carol Ann Denton Fitzpatrick, a proud granddaughter of a 2021 pioneer. Each of you embodied the spirit and resilience of the Jamaican people, and it's a privilege to celebrate your accomplishments and the paths you have forged for others to follow. Thank you once again to the Elaine Bryan Foundation for making this celebration possible, and congratulations to our pioneers for your remarkable achievements and the lasting impact you have made on our community and beyond. So thank you so much, and everyone enjoy the rest of tonight's activities.
Thank you, Congressman, for those kind words. I'm going to call on Dr. Carol Ann Denton Fitzpatrick.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Dr. Bryan, distinguished guests, and Pioneer Honorees 2024. I am here to speak about my grandmother, who was an honoree in 2021. But what can I say about her that has not already been said about my angel granny? Well, the best advice I ever received came from my grandmother, but please allow me to tell you about that a little later. Her name was Evangelist Elsada Miriam Duncan. We called her simply Granny, but now she is our angel granny. She was a formidable woman and a faithful supporter of education in her family. Granny was born in St. Mary, Jamaica on January 15, 1908, and passed away at the tender age of 111 years young, as she would say, on March 16, 2019. At the time of her passing, she was listed as the oldest Jamaican living in the United States. And actually, she's actually today fondly remembered in Milton, Georgia, as Milton's grandma, so dubbed by the former mayor, Mayor Joe Lockwood, who also gave her the keys to the city when she turned 110. Granny had many travels, but she loved Georgia and always said it reminded her of home. She was a self-taught seamstress who used this trade to make her way from her poor farming community of Brenner, St. Mary, to the bustling city of Kingston in the 1920s. Granny was raised in a strong Christian household, so it was no wonder that she also became one of the first ordained female evangelists and missionaries in Jamaica in the 1950s. She was a pioneer even from back then, always proudly touting the word of God wherever she went, even though it was a time when women were supposed to be seen and not heard. When she emigrated to the US in the 1980s and finally settled in Milton, Georgia, it was the combination of her skills as a seamstress and her outspoken evangelism that eventually became the meaningful legacy she left behind. I am one of my angel granny's 6 grandchildren, born to her only child, my mother, Norma. Although 3 of my siblings have now passed away, today those of us who remain, Christine, Carol Ann, me, and Donna, along with our children and grandchildren, have become a part of Granny's living legacy. Granny's impact on us is far-reaching. As a well-known seamstress, I remember she used to tell us stories about being called on to custom-make suits and dresses for Madame Rose Leon and many honored leaders in Jamaica. Yes, Granny was a fashionista, but the moral of those stories was not about her dressmaking. It was how she used the money that she raised to be a foster mom for many of her siblings, nieces, and nephews, and ensured that they got an education. Granny was a stalwart supporter of our education, oftentimes repeating the idiom that I'm sure most of you know, learn dear car, she called me car, before you grow old, because learning is better than silver or gold. Silver and gold will vanish away, but a good education will never decay. She taught us that God was our waymaker and that we should always put him first in everything and strive for excellence while making a positive change. I remember when we used to take Granny to the mall and she would sometimes get despondent because she would put on that old seamstress hat and critique the clothes hanging on store racks, as well as the clothes hanging on our young people. She could never get over how the younger generation made their clothes just hang on them and did not care if they fit. She would shake her head in dismay. And then later on in the day, when we all finished shopping, she would be missing. But then we would eventually find her sitting amidst a throng of people all around her, mostly children of all ages, who she would be talking to about school and their clothes, and also their parents. And she would talk to them about the importance of God in their lives. That was always amazing to watch. And it was obvious that whatever she was telling them, it was so lovingly appreciated because no one ever got offended, because she did it with a spirit of care and love. Today, my mother, siblings, and I, and our children are proud to say we dress very well, always carefully exacting the pride in our garments that was ingrained in us. Within us, Granny created something meaningful that still reflects her essence, her values and passions, and will continue to impact others even though she is gone. Professionally, we are successful business executives, business owners, scientists, engineers, economists, doctors, and lawyers, all graduates with bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees from the University of the West Indies, Howard University, Georgia Tech, Georgia State University, Virginia Tech, Stanford University, Harvard University, and Harvard Law School. And the best advice I received from Granny that I said I would tell you later, it goes something like this. It's going to be in patois, so those of you who don't understand may need a little interpretation. But it says, "Car, what is feel cannot be unfeel. When you go into the world, don't say wall, 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 wall. Say world, 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 world. There is too much to do and too much to see to do it too fast. So make sure that whatever you do is done well and to the glory of God." I am happy, no, I am honored and deeply humbled to recognize that my angel Granny was one of the first recipients of the Jamaican Pioneers in Georgia Award in 2021 from the Dr. Elaine Bryan Foundation. And it is my pleasure to pass the baton to one of the esteemed honorees this year, 2024, Attorney Anthony Lee Hing, a significant pioneer in the field of law, both at home in Jamaica and abroad. Dr. Bryan will present a formal introduction to Mr. Hing. So for now, I thank you all for your time. Dr. Bryan.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Caroline. This was remarkable. Thank you for the lessons of your granny and the fact that we can stand on her shoulders today. Thanks to your entire family. I just want to welcome Anthony Lee Hing to the screen in a few seconds. Mr. Anthony Lee Hing was born in Kingston, Jamaica, and graduated from St. George's College. Thereafter, he joined the Jamaica Government Service as an assistant clerk of the courts. In 1965, he and wife Barbara went to London, England, where he read law at Lincoln's Inn and was called to the degree of Utter Barrister in July 1967. He returned to Jamaica and resumed his work in the Resident Magistrates Court, from which he retired in 1969. He then entered private practice in Jamaica as a barrister at law. In 1980, Mr. Lee Hing and family migrated to the USA and settled in Decatur, Georgia. In 1982, he passed the Georgia bar examination and was admitted to the bar. He worked for several years as a general practitioner in Georgia until he took a position in Bahamas as counsel in the Attorney General's office. He later returned to Georgia and was appointed to Prosecuting Attorneys Council of Georgia and retired as legal officer in 2010. Currently, Mr. Lee Hing is enjoying the peace and quiet of retirement and fully satisfied and fulfilling life. While living in Georgia, Attorney Lee Hing has contributed significantly to our Jamaican community and has given significant service to Jamaica and others in the diaspora. Congratulations, Mr. Hing, on being Jamaica Pioneer in Georgia 2024. Congratulations. Go ahead. Thank you.
You're going to have to unmute Mr. Hing. Unmute yourself.
Am I all right now?
Yes, yes. Thanks.
The thing is that I do thank you, Dr. Elaine Bryan, for that beautiful recommendation that you just gave me. In fact, I was surprised that you consider that I was a person that did some work in Georgia that merited attention. I did nothing more than what any of us are supposed to do. When I came here, I knew one person. And over time, I started to learn that we were not just one or two Jamaicans here, but many. And as time went on, our numbers grew exponentially. It is here that I started to find that we who migrated from Jamaica here seem to find a bonding that is hard to describe. We were very close to each other. We kept each other's back. We tried to help each other in any way that we can. In my narrow field, in my little area of law, if I am asked for any help and I can give it, I try to do it. And in fact, it gave me more pleasure than the person that I purport to help. Because the thing about Jamaicans is that we are a grateful people. We are a people that look forward to identifying with each other in a positive way. We try to be role models to our friends and family and to strangers. Indeed, even today, I am truly surprised to be numbered among the Jamaican Pioneers for 2024. I am not one to be in the limelight. I'm a pretty quiet person, although my profession tells you otherwise. But then I do feel a certain pride that I have been selected by you as one of the pioneers for this year. And I do thank the foundation and the other selectees who chose me to be regarded in this light. And I will forever cherish this moment when I am joined by such great luminaries present here tonight. And I look forward to be of any assistance I can to you and to our fellow Jamaicans in the future, as I have tried to do in the past. And I thank you very much to number me among the Jamaican Pioneers this year. And I look forward to keeping in touch with you all. Thank you very much, and all the best for the Elaine Bryan Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Hing, and congratulations on a well-deserved award. Our next speaker is Dr. Fred Kennedy, the chair of the Grace Kennedy Foundation. Dr. Kennedy began his career as a teacher at the York Castle High School in Brownstown, Jamaica in 1973. In 1976, he emigrated to Toronto, Canada, where he began working as a secondary school teacher in the Toronto District School Board. Dr. Kennedy obtained a Master's of Education degree in 1984 and a Doctor of Education in 1995, both from the University of Toronto. He worked in the Toronto District School Board as secondary school vice chair. From 2004 to 2006, Dr. Kennedy returned to Kingston, Jamaica, and served as headmaster at his alma mater, St. George's College. Although St. George's was originally founded as a school for boys only, in 2005, Dr. Kennedy instituted a coeducational pre-university program for both female and male students. Dr. Kennedy retired in 2006. In 2015, Dr. Kennedy was awarded the Monsignor Gladstone Wilson Award for his contribution to the advancement of St. George's College and its Old Boys Association. Dr. Kennedy is the author of 3 books, Daddy Sharp, Huario, and Firstborn. Firstborn is the life of Louis Fred Kennedy, 1908 to 1982, and it is a biography of the life of Dr. Kennedy's father, Louis Fred Kennedy, a Jamaican businessman who co-managed and later served as governing director of Grace Kennedy and Company Limited. Firstborn was published in 2022. Dr. Kennedy, welcome.
Need to unmute Mr. Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy, you need to unmute. You guys hearing me?
Am I being heard?
Yes, no.
Now,
Oh, now.
yes,
Oh, my
you are
goodness.
not muted. Yeah.
Oh. I was saying it. I'm not sure where all that information came from, but it's all good. And thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm very pleased and privileged to have been invited to this celebration of the Jamaican Pioneers in Georgia. It's unique in my experience. And it's wonderful to see a celebration, really a community of strength of Jamaicans in the diaspora. I extend my special congratulations to the 2024 honorees. I guess our trailblazers in law, the attorney Anthony Lee Hing and Allan Alberga, for their remarkable dedication and service to the Jamaican community in Georgia. I have to mention something, and I didn't realize until Anthony Lee Hing was introduced that we have something in common. I'm not an attorney, but we are both graduates of St. George's College, and if he's class of 59, I know many of his classmates, including Ronnie Thwaites and Robbie Vernon and Lodi Chung and several others. So that's wonderful. Could somebody tell me if Attorney Allan Alberga is also a graduate of George's?
Yes, yes, he
Oh
is.
my goodness.
Yes.
That's wonderful. I will have to tell the guys in Toronto. It makes it the celebration even more special for us. So through this celebration, I really want to commend Dr. Elaine Bryan as well. She herself is making remarkable contributions to the Jamaican community by honoring the achievements of Jamaicans in the diaspora. It's recognitions, I believe, like this that inspire hope and inspire pride in our Jamaican culture and our identity. I've mentioned to Elaine before that I think the program needs to become a prototype for all large centers in North America and UK, wherever Jamaicans reside. We have exceptional records of achievement worldwide. It's incredible, really. We all know who they are, but seldom are they recognized. And you know, you realize that it is said that there are many Jamaicans abroad as there are in Jamaica. So you can imagine what a large pool of talent that is. You're talking about maybe more than 3 million people and descendants of those who have migrated. So congratulations, Elaine. I think Jamaicans abroad exhibit a special quality. In my experience, we work and we push ourselves beyond the norm. I think there are many reasons for this. I can't go into them all, but we push ourselves to become experts in our own fields of endeavor. And this is not to say that there aren't challenges. God knows there are, and they're formidable sometimes. But the obstacles make us work even harder. And I believe it's in the DNA of our culture, which historically has bred the necessity for survival. And when we migrate to another country, that need for resilience, I think, becomes even more imperative. I could go on because I really do have some notions of really why it is that Jamaicans do so well abroad. South Florida is one example as well. Some outstanding people and in the UK and in Toronto. But our successes are not only about achieving excellence, though, they're also about service. The pioneers tonight are being honored not only because of their accomplishments, but because of their service to their communities, in recognition of their dedication to Jamaican communities. So the migrant experience, I believe, puts Jamaicans in a unique position. I've experienced it myself. I think we reap the benefits of what North America has to offer in terms of all kinds of things, education, lifestyle. And as we apply ourselves, we acquire talents and resources that we're able to give back. And not only to our fellow Jamaicans in where we live, but also, very importantly, and Jamaicans are extremely generous in terms of never forgetting where they came from, to the country of our birth, for its development and its prosperity. Jamaica, the nation, depends more than we realize on the goodwill of its diaspora. So congratulations again, once again, to the Jamaica, Georgia pioneers, Anthony Lee Hing and Allan Alberga, and to Dr. Elaine Bryan and her foundation for hosting this celebration. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr.
As
Kennedy.
children,
Pleasure to have
we
you
learn the
tonight.
true meaning of being a hero. Being a hero requires great sacrifice for others, not just ourselves. We learned about the heroes of Jamaica's past and how much of themselves and their lives they had to give in building a nation we should be proud to call home. They believed in a Jamaica that was more than just a country, more than just an island, more than land surrounded by water. They believed in a dream of a free nation of people, a nation built on the foundation of their sacrifices, a nation of many people working as one, a nation that would continue to produce legends and nation builders that serve towards that vision. As children, we were also taught the national pledge, a solemn promise, an undertaking. I would like to believe Sir Hugh Sherlock, while writing this pledge, understood the vision and dreams of our heroes. It's clear being a hero is too much to ever ask any one citizen. Luckily, the pledge does not require heroics of any of us. It merely asks that we honor our heroes by striving to advance our nation and ultimately inspire the world, like they and many Jamaicans have done. It's important we remember those words. These words. Before God and all mankind, I pledge the love and loyalty of my heart, the wisdom and courage of my mind, the strength and vigor of my body in service of my fellow citizens. I promise to stand up for justice, brotherhood, and peace, to work diligently and creatively, to think generously and honestly, so that Jamaica may, under God, increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity, and play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race. If you are like me, a Jamaican born and raised on this land, maybe you will remember saying those words, singing that song in a classroom or some general assembly. If so, like me, you made a pledge. Somehow it seems like many of us have forgotten that. The crime and violence, the indiscipline and short-sightedness, the corruption, the lack of respect for our beautiful lands we are blessed with, and the waters that surround and nurtures us. We have to do better. Let us honor our heroes so that they would not have sacrificed so much in vain. I hope this video can make a difference to even one soul. If so, it would all be worth it. If you feel the way I do, share it. May my voice become yours. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, Gregory Bryan, for that beautiful and inspiring video. Our next speaker is the Senator Tonya P. Anderson. She is a member of the State Senate in Georgia. She represents Georgia's 43rd District. I'd like to read a little bit about her bio. Enthusiastic, strong, motivated, visionary are just a few powerful words to describe Senator Tonya P. Anderson, who was elected to the state Senate to represent Georgia's 43rd District in 2016. Senator Anderson's district includes parts of DeKalb, Rockdale, and Newton counties. Prior to serving as a state representative, she served as a city councilwoman and mayor for the city of Lithonia. Her love for helping others shines through her public service. In the Senate, she serves on the following committees: reapportionment and redistricting, economic development and tourism, regulated industries, the Veterans, Military, and Homeland Security Committee, banking and financial institutions. Recently, she was elected by her peers to serve as the president for the National Organization of Black Elected Legislative Women. Her term began January 1st, 2024. The senator earned a degree in business administration from the Alabama State University, as well as a Master's of Divinity from Luther Rice University and an MBA from Georgia State University. She has 2 honorary doctorate degrees in humanitarian and theology, respectively. She completed Yale University's Women Leadership Program, and she is the recipient of numerous awards over the years by many world-renowned organizations, such as the National Disabled American Veterans, Women Veterans Social Justice, the Woman of Excellence Award by the National Foundation of Women Legislature, the Who's Who in Black Atlanta Award, and the DeKalb County NAACP Medgar Edgar's Freedom Award. She's the author and champion of a bipartisan criminal justice reform bill. This bill allows for the restriction and sealing of criminal records of most misdemeanor and some felony convictions in Georgia. Prior to the passage of that bill, SB 288 in Georgia, any criminal record stayed on a person's record for life. This bill affects 4.3 million Georgians and will create opportunity for employment, housing, and schooling. Senator Anderson co-sponsored another bipartisan criminal justice reform bill, SB 105, which shortens felony probation time. Additionally, Senator Anderson is the author of another criminal justice reform measure, SB 257, which expands the reach to restrict and seal criminal records. Senator Anderson is an ordained minister, a life coach, consultant, motivational speaker, mentor, and a proud active member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. And we appreciate you taking the time out from that busy schedule, Senator, to join us tonight. Without further ado, Senator Anderson will speak to us.
Thank you, Attorney Lane. Thank you, and greetings and good evening, everyone. I am delighted to be here with you this evening at the invitation of the Consul General of Jamaica, Dr. Elaine Bryan. Her spirit, her love for Jamaica and the state of Georgia shines through her long-lasting work, and it has been impactful for many, many years. She has been faithful in being a representative of Jamaica in America, and especially in Georgia. So thank you, Dr. Bryan, for this opportunity. As I was asked to speak today, I thought about what it means to be a pioneer. We're celebrating pioneers tonight, and a pioneer is a person who is among the first to explore and settle in a new territory or area. Pioneers value possibilities, and they spark energy, imagination, and collaboration. They're outgoing, spontaneous, and adaptable. They're creative thinkers who believe big risks can bring great rewards. We saw on the video presentation that many Jamaican pioneers have paved the way. The culture, the beauty, the energy, the fight, the grit, the success, And it shows that anyone can be a pioneer as long as they believe, work, serve, and overcome any challenges. A pioneer can be a newfound faith, more like a spiritual pioneer. See, Jesus was a pioneer. It's amazing that we are in the Lenten season and tomorrow is Palm Sunday. Yes, Jesus was a pioneer. Through the cross and resurrection, Christ has pioneered the defeat of death. Christ's identity with us means he is a pioneer on our behalf. He did not defeat death for his own sake or even for the sake of angels, but for us, for our sake. Secondly, entrepreneurs are pioneers. Pioneers bring a unique take to a product or service. By their very nature, entrepreneurs are pioneers. They are willing to take risks and disrupt established industries and ways of doing things to introduce new products or ideas. Finally, a pioneer is one that originates or helps open up a new line of thought or activity, or a new method or technical development. So thank you to our brother and sister Jamaican pioneers for coming to Georgia to open our eyes to the rich culture. And most of all, thank you for your collaboration. There's a lot to be learned from pioneers. We can find strength from their stories of faith, endurance, sacrifice, obedience, innovation, new boundaries, record-breaking barriers, and success by overcoming great challenges. Thank you, thank you, thank you to our Jamaican pioneers for overcoming great challenges and showing us all how to be resilient. Congratulations to all the Pioneer Award recipients. Blessings, and thank you for this opportunity to celebrate this event with you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Bryan to take it from here.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Senator. I really appreciate and value your time. At this time, we're going to ask the Honorable Allan Terrelong, Member of Parliament, to get close to the, he will be the next one we invite to speak. He has many meetings today, so we are going to do Mr. Alberga after the Honorable Terrelong. Thank you. The Honorable Allan Terrelong, Member of Parliament, was born in Grandspen, St. Andrew, and he was appointed the State Minister of Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade on May the 22nd, 2003. He is a dedicated public servant with a background in law and a passion for education, youth empowerment, sports, and community development. A graduate of Campion College and the University of the West Indies, he earned his law degree and later joined the Jamaican Bar after completing studies at the Norman Manley Law School, where he was the recipient of several awards and presented the law school and Jamaica internationally. As a scholarship recipient in 2008, he pursued a master's degree at the University of Warwick, United Kingdom, focusing on international relations, international criminal law, and international human rights. Following this, he worked in Madrid, Spain, on matters related to democracy, international peace, and security. Returning to Jamaica in 2010, Terrelong became a prominent voice on social issues, contributing as a guest columnist for The Gleaner and The Observer. In 2011, he became an associate tutor at the Norman Manley Law School. His dedication to nation building led him to politics, resulting in a historic win in 2016. He has been representing East Central St. Catherine as a Member of Parliament and has previously been appointed as Minister of State in both the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, and the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. Terry Long is known for championing education and constantly encourages Jamaican youth, who he refers to as his young kings and queens. Welcome. You may go ahead. Thanks.
His assistant says he's having some internet technical difficulties, so you want to proceed with somebody else in the meantime?
Okay, so good idea. Let's go back on track, where we were with Mr. Ritchie introducing Allan Alberga. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols observed. A big thank you to Dr. Elaine Bryan and her team for organizing this annual event to recognize those of us that have moved to Atlanta many years ago and have in some way impacted the life of Jamaicans coming here thereafter. My name is Errol Ritchie, and no, I'm not a graduate of George's. I'm actually a proud Monroe College old boy. I migrated to the US in 1980, completed my MBA degree at Columbia University, and then joined a number of Fortune 100 companies in New York and Connecticut. My family moved to Atlanta in 1989, and I'm one of the first set of Atlanta pioneers. Most Jamaicans who moved here in the 80s came from the Northeast USA. Most of us were attracted to Atlanta because of its warmer climate, more relaxed lifestyle, good job opportunities, and relatively clean, child-friendly environment. We aggressively pursued job and business opportunities, and despite the challenges of racism and our crab-in-the-barrel tendencies, we evolved as a community revered for its rich culture and entrepreneurial pursuits. I congratulate this year's awardees. Both have been active members of the Atlanta Jamaican Association, and I've had the privilege of working with them during my tenure as president. Dr. Bryan will now introduce Mr. Allan Alberga.
Hello, good evening. Thanks again. Thank you, Mr. Errol Ritchie, pioneer, the first year of pioneers from 2020. Mr. Allan Alberga, after graduating from St. George's College, he clerked at the Supreme Court in Kingston until 1963, where he left to study law in the United Kingdom. Mr. Alberga obtained a Bachelor of Law degree and barrister in the UK, employed thereafter at the newly established Jamaican High Commission as legal attaché. He returned to Jamaica as Assistant Attorney General, then seconded to the new State Trading Corporation as Secretary Legal Advisor. He spent 2 years in Florida doing odd jobs as his legal credentials did not permit him to practice there as an attorney. He moved to Atlanta, Georgia in 1989, where he continued to do non-legal work. Along with issuance of his insurance license work, soccer coaching, soccer refereeing, newspaper distribution, he entered law school to acquire the JD degree. It was stressful but enlightening journey because of the significant differences between the British and the American systems. While living in Georgia for over 3 decades, Alberga has been committed to significant service to fellow Jamaicans in various community groups and individual legal assistance. He is married to Miss Janice Liddell and has a wealth of knowledge and is always willing to share important information and also to be somebody who I can speak to anytime, and he's so helpful. Congratulations, Mr. Alberga. You may begin. Thanks.
Well, thank you very much, Elaine. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm presently a little distance away because I'm in Ohio, as I told you. My mother-in-law's funeral was yesterday, so I'm just recovering from that. I suppose what you'd call the mournful period. I'm still in it because she was a wonderful lady. But I shall return, hopefully, to Atlanta on early next week. I'm very humbled to be named a pioneer. I at first, when you invited me to become one, I wondered why I deserved that title until this senator explained what a pioneer can be, because I know there were people before me, and they were, they paved the way for me to come to Atlanta and to settle in, as I have in turn, in the last 30 odd years, observed the entry of so many Jamaicans. But I was accustomed to that because after I studied in England, after my period of study and service in the Jamaican embassy there, High Commission, I served the tremendous inflow of Jamaicans into United Kingdom. It was at a time when there was, patent resentment of Jamaicans, and I got very close. It was an enlightening experience about life because I was seeing how racism really worked. As a person of color, I was beginning to understand just what challenges I faced and what challenges my fellow Jamaicans faced. But throughout the 10 years or so of service to them, I became closer. I learned more about the Jamaican aspiration and the resilience of the Jamaican. And that I was heartwarmed and enlightened. So I felt emboldened when I came to America to deal with color. That was not a problem for me because I had seen it and I had dealt with it, and I was proud of being a Jamaican because of my experience in both countries before, Jamaica and United Kingdom. So I understand, I'm learning about the history of the United States. It's a long learning period, but I've been helped by my associates, my wife, who's herself an American. So I have become, over the years, familiar with the pain of the American, especially of Americans of color. But that hasn't changed my attitude. It has not in any way intimidated me because I knew I had already seen it in Europe. Anyway, that is not about me and my past experience. I'm talking now about my stay in the United States. When I came, as Elaine explained, I was not able to practice law, even though I had already so many years of credentialed as a lawyer. But I took it in stride, and after a couple of years in Florida, sort of beating around, I came to Atlanta where law school was more accessible. So I entered law school, and it was, again, stressful, but as an old man, so to speak. But I thought it was at the end, fortunately, I did not stumble. But at the end, I realized that without the law school experience, I would not be able to really learn how to be a lawyer in America, because I made the mistake of thinking that the laws of the United Kingdom and the United States were one and the same, only to learn that there are differences, important differences. But I shall not bore you with that. I just want to say that it has been an enriching experience for me. As you know, I've served with the Association of Jamaicans. That came easily because of my UK experience. And I also realized that the talent which I've seen in Jamaican communities abroad are not being utilized properly, I would say, in Jamaica. I don't think Jamaica has yet to learn about what talent exists abroad and how best to use it. But I am always going to be trying to push Jamaica to embrace the Jamaican community abroad. And if there's any assistance that I can lend to this effort, I'd be happy to. The other honorees, it's coincidental that, if you like, they're both the shared high school with the same high school with me, not at the same time. As you can see, I am a little older, but it's like a renewal. I think we were grounded. We were both prepared for the effort of helping others. That was part of the ethos of the school, and I'm proud and happy to be associated with them. I still unsure about why I'm a pioneer, because I came and saw a group of Jamaicans who were here, and they helped me to adjust. But I, in turn, am continuously open to provide any service that I can. I have been practicing now for longer than I thought I would. It's now nearly, when I count, it's nearly 30 years of practice here, and I'm still chugging. So I'm open to any assistance, and anybody thinks that I can provide any assistance. I am open to doing that, because I know Jamaica needs help, and from this distance, I think I can provide some. So I want to thank Elaine for thinking that I'm a pioneer and believing that I can continue to be of assistance to Jamaica. And congratulations to my co-pioneers. Tony is my friend. As I say, he's senior to me because he came here before me. I'm only senior by age, but we blend beautifully. I know Mr. Kennedy. I don't, but I've heard him and his sentiments, and I agree with what he's saying. So we're here. STGC. Sorry, Mr. Ritchie. STGC, good and true. Loyal to the Jamaican nation. Thank you, Elaine, again.
Thank you.
But continue to do the job you're doing. And any assistance I can provide, call me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Alberga, and congratulations again for the great job you do in our community. We will now have the Honorable Member of Parliament, Terry Long, who will join the Zoom meeting. Thank you.
Hi, Elaine. How are you doing?
Fine.
Are you hearing me okay?
Yes, go right.
All right,
Thank
good to
you.
see you. Good to see you, Dr. Bryan. And of course, to all our members who have joined on. Where I am, there is a bit of noise, so I'm hoping you can hear me okay. And we had a bit of trouble with the internet connection, but we were able to sort that out just now. So just to allow me, whilst the protocol would have already been done earlier, allow me just to greet Dr. Bryan, our honorary consul for Jamaica, and Mr. Bryan, if he's on. Of course, there is Congressman Hank Johnson, Miss Tonya Anderson, our Georgia State Senator, who is on, Mr. Charlton McFarlane, the Registrar General of Jamaica, Dr. Fred Kennedy, Chair of Grace Kennedy Foundation, and Dr. Kennedy, if you are on, a big kudos to you and the entire Grace Kennedy team for just running, partnering with the entire ISA and all our schools, etc., for successful boys and girls championships again this year. To our distinguished honorees, Mr. Allan Alberga and Mr. Anthony Courtney Lee Ying, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. It is certainly with great pleasure that I address you at this fourth edition by the Honorary Consul to honor Jamaican Pioneers in Georgia, organized by Dr. Elaine Bryan, who heads our foundation in Atlanta, Georgia. Let me thank you from the outset, Dr. Bryan, for the invitation to be here with you all. This event certainly holds significance, not only for the honorees, but also for their families, the special guests present, who have a strong affinity with the community, and certainly for me, as Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, with responsibility for diaspora affairs. Indeed, our Jamaicans overseas have credited themselves as having a strong presence in the various communities to which they have attached themselves abroad. They are wonderful stories of individuals who left home in Jamaica with little more than ambition and the zeal to succeed at all costs. In taking advantage of opportunities that presented themselves, they have not been shy to seize them, to make the best of them, and indeed to excel with the little that they have had as immigrants in a foreign land. But they have also taken their Jamaican attributes of excellent work ethics, determination, and hard work, while also integrating themselves in their communities and conducting themselves in such a way that their presence is positively felt. It is recognized that there are many unsung heroes among you who are not part of the popular and famous, well-known faces that constantly grace the covers of the various social media and other platforms. Yet behind the scenes, their generosity of spirit and commitment to country have been undeniable. They have chosen to give back in ways that are indeed admirable. And so, Mr. Allan Alberga and Mr. Anthony Lee Ying, we celebrate you today, not only as Jamaicans who have done well in the field of law, your chosen profession, but when one considers the time that you have developed and practiced your craft in the United States, we can only imagine that your journey was not an easy one. Against the natural challenges you would have encountered as Jamaican immigrants in a foreign land, your success must have come at a cost. And I applaud both of you for not only having stayed the course, but for understanding the value and importance of giving back. Your recognition today, as we continue to applaud you, is well-deserved. And on behalf of the government and people of Jamaica, I congratulate you both heartily. Dr. Bryan, I must also add that your efforts are also to be applauded. You have certainly recognized these stalwart Jamaican pioneers for setting aside this time to seek to lift the spirit of deserving nationals coming out of the challenges and stresses of the COVID-19 pandemic, which dealt such a serious blow to the psyche and well-being of so many. That you have taken the initiative to celebrate our fellow Jamaicans in the community of Atlanta, I take this opportunity to thank you for the outstanding contributions you have been making on behalf and in your capacity as Honorary Consul for Jamaica over the past nearly 5 years. I am conscious that you and your husband, Gregory, have gone beyond the call of duty to not only provide the usual consular services to our nationals, but you have also sought to keep our flag flying high in the States, and for that we are grateful. Ladies and gentlemen, Support for and partnering with our diaspora overseas remain a priority for the government of Jamaica. We are both family and strategic partners in a journey towards a prosperous future. We continue to work towards to ensure the growth and development of the big little country we all call home. Little but with tallow, and Jamaicans, whether at home and abroad, continue to do great things. At the heart of this partnership is the formal mechanism we established together since 2004, when the first diaspora conference was held in Kingston, Jamaica. This year, we will be hosting the conference under the theme, United for Jamaica's Transformation, Fostering Peace, Productivity, and Youth Empowerment. The theme is indeed an expression of the approach to addressing the most topical issues today that are of interest on both sides. We will converge at the impressive Montego Bay Convention Center from the 16th to the 19th of June in 2024 in what will be an exciting program of activities designed with you, the members of our Jamaican diaspora, in mind. And so to that end, the team at the ministry and our missions throughout the United States of America are part of a dedicated group, along with the members of the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council and the Global Jamaica Diaspora Youth Council and other stakeholders. The head of the RGD, for example, is here today, and all our stakeholders and other members of the diaspora in Jamaica and abroad are working hard behind the scenes to ensure that your trip to Montego Bay this June will be worth your while. At this first opportunity for in-person conference into disruptions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, we very much look forward to welcoming as many of you as possible to Jamaica. And so I ask you all to mark your calendars, June 16th, Diaspora Day, to June 19th, 2024. Come home to a time of purpose and fun as you take your families, not just for rest and relaxation, but also to reconnect with Jamaica, to engage and network, to explore a range of government services and private sector services, and also important opportunities for investment. Jamaica has truly become the place of trade and investment, with a growing economy, with one of the lowest unemployment rates in the world, and certainly with a debt to GDP ratio that says that this government is serious about business and serious about diaspora engagement and diaspora investment. And so I invite you all to come and be a part of the dialogue that will see the main address being delivered by the Most Honorable Prime Minister and Your Holiness, with presentations by ministers of government and other persons who will treat you to a wide range of discussions on a number of current issues. In particularly, as I indicated, how you can invest in Jamaica and see great returns on your investments. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I want to indicate also that the conference will be infused with exciting features such as cultural expositions, our rich music, art, and of course, enough Jamaican vibes throughout. So today, I want to join the pioneers who are being honored this afternoon and welcome you all to Jamaica to give back to our beloved island through your participation in the Day of Service on the 20th day of June 2024, where the young, philanthropic persons across the diaspora can participate in a number of activities and community projects as well. We'll also have the Governor General's Achievement Awards for the diaspora, which will be held at the conference also. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I want to thank you all for your invaluable contributions to Jamaica. I want to thank you all for being brand ambassadors. I want to thank you all for continuing to raise the Jamaican flag in your respective states, right here in Georgia, and of course, in your communities throughout Atlanta and elsewhere. In closing, I wish to express my gratitude for your unwavering dedication to Jamaica and your shared vision of prosperity. Together, let us harness the power of our collective stories and endeavors to build a brighter future for generations to come. To our awardees this evening, again, I want to thank you all for having raised the Jamaican flag, for being such impressive leaders across the United States, and in particular, for setting an example for the next generation, second and third and fourth generations of Jamaicans living beyond Georgia, to exemplify your examples. And so, Mr. Alberga, Mr. Hing, we continue to celebrate you. And Dr. Bryan, to you once more, thank you for having invited me and for celebrating our honorees this evening. I thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Alanda Terry Long, Member of Parliament and Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. We salute you and we all look forward to celebrating with you in June. Thanks again for all you do for our beautiful island, Jamaica. Congratulations.
VM, we're here for you. We are returning to this land. You are returning to our story. Together stronger we stand. Your win is our victory. We're a firm foundation here to stay. Build you a brighter way. Transform your everyday. Transform your
VM Group. Transform your everyday.
Now, Ms. Rochester, you can now introduce Mr. Leighton Smith from Victoria Mutual Building Society, Victoria Mutual Group overseas. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Bryan. All protocols have been observed, and I just want to say on behalf of the VM Group, we wish all pioneers a wonderful evening, and we are so proud of you. And Dr. Bryan, thank you so much for this amazing opportunity where we get to celebrate all the wonderful people of Jamaica. Thank you so much. And I have the wonderful privilege of introducing my boss, my manager, Leighton Smith, who sits in the UK. So pioneers, you see how important you are that my manager is actually his bedtime and he has set up to be with us this evening. I would just want to say thank you so much, Leighton. And Leighton is the purpose-driven CEO of VM Finance Limited and VM Overseas Offices. He is also Vice President of the iconic VM Building Society. Having developed a solid record of success over 25 years in the financial industry locally and internationally, Leighton plays an integral role in devising and executing growth focused strategies to achieve bottom line results. He holds an MBA from the University of New Orleans and a bachelor's degree in business administration and management from the University of Technology in Jamaica. Without further ado, the floor is now open for my boss, who I'm so proud of, Leighton Smith. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Suzette, for that lovely introduction. It is always hard to follow the minister. I have met him and spoken with him on quite a few occasions. So it's always a little bit difficult to come after the minister. Nonetheless, must recognize him, Allan Terry Long, State Minister in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. Honorary Consul for Jamaica in Atlanta, Dr. Elaine Bryan, and your husband as well, Congressman, senators, commissioners, ministers, other dignitaries, of course, the honorees, special invited guests, members of the foundation, and of course, my fellow Jamaicans. I would want to tell you good evening, but from where I'm sitting, it's good morning, because it's actually now Sunday morning. But it is my great pleasure to join you, albeit from so many miles away, for this wonderful occasion. Why? Because from the desk that I sit, I do come across Jamaicans from the United Kingdom, the United States, Canada, and of course in Europe. There are several countries, several consulates, several commissions that my desk work with. Why? Because it is important that we always connect. And it is also very fitting that this celebratory series is titled Our Stories, because as Jamaicans, we know that our people have historically had so many rich experiences and written countless inspirational stories, no matter where we are in this world. And it is that unique quality that makes us Jamaican, or spirit, or resilience, or tenacity, or knowing that better must come, tomorrow is another day, and it gives us that opportunity to go on. And as such, the valuable contributions each of you have made over the years to the various cultures, economies, and industries, particularly now you're in the United States, it continues to be exceptional. Listening to some of the honorees, you spoke of how you have had to demonstrate courage, how you have faced great odds. You were driven by purpose, not only to better yourselves and families, but importantly, to better our home country. And certainly a series like this, it allows for the stories never to dissipate because they're too powerful and inspirational. And, you know, there's a similarity between the pioneers and what VM has done. VM has demonstrated a pioneering spirit for which we are quite proud of. By that, what do I mean? Well, we were the very first Jamaican financial institution to establish what was then called service bureaus or representative offices to serve the people in the diaspora. And that commitment has remained true up until this point from the early 1980s. And that is why we are legacy partners, for example, of the Jamaican Diaspora Conference. And what we have been able to do is assist Jamaicans through the various stages of their lives to achieve financial independence or financial well-being, where today VM is a strong, integrated financial group of services and products that meet every needs of Jamaicans and friends of Jamaica. As I mentioned earlier, we have overseas offices in the United Kingdom, in New York and Florida. We also do business development activities in Atlanta. And I'm very, very pleased to introduce a new member of our team who is on with us this evening, Mrs. Kadeen Smith-Gardner. She's our business development associate or lead that is based in Atlanta. So many of you will be able to speak with her, and she'll be, of course, be reaching out to quite a few of the Jamaican associations in Atlanta to ensure that we maintain that connection. And Kadeen is aptly supported and reports into Suzette Rochester Lloyd, who is the Chief Representative Officer of our Florida office. And she, of course, you met, the much better looking person than myself. And I'm sure you'd always want to see her face over mine, and also Kadeen. I take this opportunity to certainly wish each and every one of you here this evening all the very best. I congratulate the Jamaican Consulate, the Foundation, and the Pioneering Jamaicans in Atlanta for the work that you continue to do to promote and enhance strong relationships between Jamaica and, of course, Georgia. And of course, again, I salute the honorees and encourage you to continue to build the strong legacies through your stories and write great stories. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Victoria Mutual Group. I really appreciate everything that Ms. Rochester and her team, they have done in Georgia. And in 2020, in the middle of the virus, I asked her about this pioneer idea, and they were willing to sponsor the idea. And I will always remember that, because it was a time when all the offices were closed and the pioneers, the mature Jamaicans, some of them were shut in. So we'll go right along now to Mr. Charlton McFarlane. I will just do a brief introduction of him so he will have his time to speak. Mr. Charlton McFarlane is employed as the Registrar General of Jamaica since 2020. Mr. McFarlane has over 19 years of experience in the government service across different portfolios, including public health and development, civil registration, and vital statistics. He possesses a wealth of policy and project management experience, bringing to this position technical expertise in the areas of economics, finance, statistics, budgeting, and marginal analysis. With a profound commitment to innovation and digital transformation, Mr. McFarlane spearheads strategic initiatives aimed at modernizing civil registration processes in Jamaica. He brings a wealth of expertise in administrative leadership and a deep understanding of the importance of digitizing vital records for national development under guidance of the Registrar General Department. Mr. McFarlane is a past student of Kingston College, holds an undergraduate degree in economics and statistics from the University of the West Indies. He's also a graduate from the University of York, UK, as well as professional certification in policy development and appraisal, strategic negotiation, and public-private partnership. He's a member of the International Health Economic Association. Welcome to our Zoom meeting and celebrating our pioneers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Elaine. It's a pleasure to be here, and I must add my own quota of congratulations to our honorees. And you know, as I sat and I listened, I realized that some of our honorees are Georgians, and you know, I attended school on the other side of North Street, but nonetheless, the school I attended was the product of a great Georgian himself, right, in the form of Bishop Percival Gibson. So it's almost a father-son relationship. So it's good. I congratulate you all for the wonderful work that you would have done. And in order to, you know, make the most efficient use of my time, and having realized that all the protocols would have been observed, I will just go directly into a brief presentation about the Registrar General's Department and what it is that we do and how it is that we can serve you and what initiatives we may have put in place to actually serve you better. Many of us are familiar with one arm of the Registrar General Department, which is called the General Register Office. That is the office that deals with births, deaths, marriages, adoptions, and even stillbirths. However, there are two arms of the Registrar General Department. The other arm, maybe a lesser known arm, but still very significant, is the Island Records Office. And as I go through towards the latter part of my brief presentation, I will speak to that. In the way of services, the Registrar General Department, the RGD, we offer birth certificates. In fact, we recently introduced a new version with enhanced security features of our births, deaths, marriage, adoption, and also stillbirth certificates. Now, many persons did not know that we offer stillbirth certificates, but we do based upon request of parents. In addition to offering those standard services, we do offer what is called record updating services. A record updating service is a service that is done to amend a record after the original registration. So, for example, if a registration was done and it did not have the father's name on it, then persons can come to the RGD subsequent to the date of the registration and request to have the father's name added on it. Now, this is particularly important, especially for persons who live in the diaspora, who may want to file for their loved ones who are residing in Jamaica. And obviously, if it is a father-son relationship, believe it or not, the only legal document that connects a parent to a child is actually the birth certificate. Other record updating services that we offer include correction of errors. We also offer late entry of name. Now, you know, maybe in the 1940s, 1950s, 1960s, we used to have a practice where we would register children, but the surname of the child would not necessarily be on the record. We have since eliminated that practice. And so what we realize is most of our clients who request the late entry of name would be persons born, you know, primarily in that era. We also offer what is called a late registration service because, believe it or not, we still have pockets of individuals who are born in Jamaica whose birth was never registered. So we offer those type of services. In addition, we offer a new service, which is a fledgling service, but we are proud of it. It's called a no impediment certificate. What is a no impediment certificate? It is literally a certificate that indicates if someone was previously married in Jamaica. Now, this is important because in some parts of the world, bigamy is against the law. And so if someone wants to get married and they want to be absolutely sure about the status of the person that they intend to marry, they can do a search of the civil registry in Jamaica to ascertain whether or not we have a record of a marriage for that individual. If we do not have a record, we offer a no impediment certificate. And if we do have a record, then we send an official letter with the details thereof. So in a nutshell, that is it for the General Records Office. I'll now shift briefly to the Island Record Office. The Island Record Office of the RGD is really in charge of document recording, because guess what? Many of our deeds, powers of attorney, our wills, our deed polls, all those documents, when we have them drafted, they don't necessarily become legal documents in Jamaica until or unless they have been recorded by the Island Record Office in the RGD. So that is another service that we offer. In addition, we offer our genealogy service, which we rebranded in the middle of last year, 2023, and we now call it our Outer Many service, right? And this is literally a search of our family heritage, because the records of the RGD, our repository, goes back to the 1600s. So we are able to trace roots, once records are there, of course, back to the 1600s. And this is another service that is very popular among research students, among universities, and also among members of the diaspora. As I close, the RGD also offers a registry wedding service, which is a low-cost option for persons who want to get married. And again, the majority of our customers for this service are actually persons who reside in the diaspora and actually wishes to come down to Jamaica and get married. So we do offer that service. And we offer that service across our 10 locations island-wide. The RGD has strategically shifted our services online because we are mindful of the travel time. So what we have done since in 2019, we only offered 5 of our services via our online platform. I'm pleased to say that in 2024, we now offer 15 of our services via our online platform. And that has reduced the transaction cost while increasing and improving efficiency and accessibility for all Jamaicans, whether they are residing in Jamaica or they are residing in the diaspora. Even though we still do physical visits. In fact, we were in Atlanta in December of 2022, right? So in a nutshell, those are the things that the RGD offers, and we will continue to work with the diaspora to improve on our efficiency and to serve you better. I want to thank you again for inviting me, Dr. Bryan, and also again, congratulations to our honorees. And finally, persons can access our services via a number of media. Via our website, via our email address. We are active on social media, on Instagram and on X. And when you log on to our website, we do have a live web chat that is manned between the hours of 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., Mondays to Fridays, right? So the avenues are there for you guys to reach us once you have the need to reach us. Thank you again, Dr. Bryan.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I need you here in Georgia soon so we can have all the details, and I really value and appreciate your time. This was outstanding. At this time, we will have Commissioner Natalie Hall with a quick greeting, and then we'll close out the session hearing from Bernadine Lane, Dr. Pottinger, Rich Phillips. Just a quick salute and goodbye after we hear the Bob Marley song. Thank you, Commissioner Hall. You can come on now with a quick greeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Elaine Bryan, our honorable counsel, and congratulations to all of the honorees and the Jamaican Pioneers in Georgia, and to the commissioners and other elected officials that are here with us this evening. It is truly an honor and a pleasure to be on this Zoom with you. I was literally out in the field putting signs in yards because I'm running for re-election for my Fulton County Commissioner seat, District 4. This is my 7th year. It is my 7th year because I was the chief of staff to the late Fulton County Commissioner, Joan P. Garner, who passed away from cancer in 2017. And I ran in a special election to finish the last 2 years of her term. So I'm in my 7th year as commissioner, and I just wanted to bring you greetings this evening, and thank you to Erica Antoinette Slayton for ensuring that this was on my calendar today so that I could greet you. I appreciate you, Erica, for that. And I just want to say that if there's anything that you need, anyone on this Zoom needs in Fulton County, please feel free to contact me. I'll put my number and my email address in the chat. I represent the district that is the heart of Atlanta, downtown Atlanta, midtown Atlanta, southeast to the Clayton County line where the Hartsfield Jackson International Airport is located. Southwest, I have College Park, East Point, and Tyler Perry Studios and those surrounding neighborhoods. And I go northeast of downtown to the DeKalb County line where Moreland Avenue is, and north of downtown Midtown up into the Jimmy Carter Center area. So if there's anything anyone needs, please let me know. And thank you all for having me this evening, and have a blessed rest of your night.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Hall. I remember meeting you several years ago. I was so impressed with your work. And I'm so grateful to you, Commissioner Hall, for coming and joining us today. Now we will hear from my husband, Gregory Bryan. I don't know if you want to do the ads. And then I would love to, after this session, I would like to have Microsoft Aisha to come and give a quick greetings if she's still on. I would love for her to come and greet us quickly, the executive of Microsoft.
That time is here now, so come with me. Hey, throw your hand in the air right now. These are the good times. What are you feeling good times? These are the good times. Yo, these are the real good times. Let's make this song real thing. These are the good times. Yo, the good times. These are the good.
Huh?
And feel alright. Hear the children crying. One love. Hear the children crying. One heart. Saying, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Saying, let's get together and feel alright. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let them all pass all their dirty remarks. There is one question I'd really love to ask. Is there a place for the hopeless sinners who has hurt all mankind? Just a Savior's own belief. One love. What about a one heart? What about let's get together and feel alright? As it was in the beginning, one love. So shall it be in the end. One heart. Alright. Thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. One more thing. fight is holy, I'm a Gideon. One love. So when the man comes, there will be no doom. One soul. Have pity on those whose chances grow 10. There ain't no hiding place from the Father of creation. Say it. One love. What about the one heart? What about the let's get together and feel alright? I'm pleading to mankind. One love. One heart. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being patient and staying on Zoom for this time with us so we could go to the end of the function. At this time, I'll just have closing remarks from Dr. Pottinger and Rich Phillips. And then those who would like to stay on, we will stay on for a few minutes with questions about the books and if you want to stay on, okay? So go ahead, Mr. Rich Phillips, and then Dr. Pottinger. Just a quick closing remark. Thank you.
Hello to all on board tonight. I'd like to say congratulations to the Jamaican Pioneers of Georgia for 2024. This has been quite a program that we've started since 2020, and you know, actualizing Dr. Bryan's dream with this to honor the people who came here and laid the foundation, paved the way for many of us who came after. Most people don't realize there have been many challenges, and of course, you know, this was the South, and these people, you know, really had to deal with a lot of or subjugated to a lot of oppression, and racism showed its face, even though this is Atlanta, but it's real. And they've overcome and opened the door for a lot of other people coming into Atlanta. Now it's like a little New York. And most people have no idea that in the early years, it might have been maybe 20, 30,000 in the maybe late 80s. Now it's probably about 150, 200,000. It has just exploded here. But we're here, and we've done quite a job reaching out in the community, trying to make bridges with the American community. And as the pioneers, Mr. Alberga and Mr. Hing stated, I mean, it wasn't easy, but we overcame. I mean, and Jamaicans are known to be very resilient people. And so we've pushed hard, and we've worked hard, and we of the JPAG team, working along with Dr. Bryan as a consul, have forged ahead to pave a way. And I, again, thank all who support us and who are on board tonight. You're learning more about a lot of the works that we do here. With that, I'll close. Thank you very much for having us, and all who joined the program. Thank you.
Thank you, my colleague, Mr. Rich Phillips, for your words of commendation. And it is indeed a pleasure to work with Dr. Elaine Bryan in the JPOG Foundation. We have been doing real work. You have seen the Honorary Consul show up at the nursing home with flowers for senior citizens who are Jamaicans who have no one. I'm not sure that people realize that we have senior citizens who are in places where they might not be able to access, visitors and love. But I've seen Dr. Bryan with the flowers and the Jamaican flags inside the beautiful potted plants. Just go in and give love. We've shown up at funerals to support our families who have members who, who have been deceased. I remember on Covington Highway, there was a time when we showed up at a funeral of this Jamaican gentleman who had no family. And we were in the house making sure that he had a burial. So the hands-on approach to community service and to making a difference in Atlanta is powerful. And I say thank you to Dr. Elaine Bryan and to Mr. Gregory Bryan and to my colleagues in our foundation who have rolled up their sleeves, been in the park, fed people free food, the wonderful, food that is donated and cooked with love from all the different donors. And this year, make sure you show up at the park, Prenocial Park, to meet and greet your representatives and to say hello to Dr. Bryan. We appreciate your love and your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. At this time, we will close out this part of the meeting, Gregory. I don't know if you have to dream the impossible dream there ready, or if we could just end now and then we start the other session. Mr. Bryan will decide that part. Thank you.
Sure, we can end with that real quick.
Dream the impossible dream. Fight the unbeatable flow. Bear the unbearable sorrow. I have a hard time hearing you. To run where the brave dare not go. To right the unrightable wrong. To love pure and chaste from afar. To try when your arms are too weary. To reach
Elaine, was somebody from Microsoft here that you're going to? You're on mute.
Hi, I'm here.
Oh, Elaine, you want to introduce her? You're on mute. You're on mute. Nope, you're still on mute. Still on mute. Unmute yourself.
Hi, good. Welcome, Ms. Davis. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here today. I admire your great work at Microsoft Corporation and all the assistance that you have given me personally. It's just an outstanding experience to know you. And I just want you to salute the pioneers, and then we will be able to meet up when I come off the governor tour next week. Yeah.
Absolutely. I just want to say, first off, I am honored and it's a true privilege for me to be here today. I am Aisha Davis, and I am an artificial intelligence sales specialist at Microsoft. With a deep history there, I've been in partnership with them about 15 years and came up through their youth program. I also have a special connection to Jamaica because I am the great-granddaughter of Hubert Gordon of Manchester Parish, Jamaica, and also of Alma and Altima Lawton and Raymond Lawton, my grandfathers on both sides. So, and Therese Lawton. So I'm just very grateful to be here as a descendant of those who have migrated over from Jamaica here to the US. And to see an event like this, I feel so much pride in being a daughter of Jamaica, and being able to represent my family and also Microsoft Corporation. I also am the founder of A Cup of Tea with a Black Woman, which is also a nonprofit organization focused on improving social determinants of health of Black youth and Black communities. I live in West Midtown, and so I'm excited to be here. Honorary Consul Dr. Elaine Bryan, her foundation has been a part of Microsoft history for over 20 years, since the beginning of our Blacks at Microsoft Employee Resource Group. Our employee resource group, BAM, has been the initiator of what Microsoft has built out in terms of employee resource groups. We were the first, and our Blacks at Microsoft Minority Student Day is the first of its kind at the corporation. We started with only 40 members, but Dr. Elaine Bryan has been a valued partner of the organization, and so I'm just grateful to continue our partnership. But thank you for having me here. And again, thank you to our Jamaican pioneers. Thank you for the work that you've done. And for those who are here representing the community, much love.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Let's just give all the pioneers a big salute now, and we'll close out this formal part and stay back for a few minutes. For those of you, I don't want to hold you much longer, but could you give the pioneers, Anthony Lee Hing and Allan Alberga, a big, big round of applause? And we want you to know that we salute the pioneers, Anthony Lee Hing, attorney of law, and also Allan Alberga. We are so proud that we were able to stand on your shoulders. You have such quiet, humble spirit, but we know that if you did not do a good job in Georgia, the Deep South, it wouldn't be easy for us today. And we want you to know we value what you did, just working hard, staying the course, and not embarrassing Jamaicans, and following protocol, and doing all that you have done. And we are always able to call you. You always answer. So we salute you and all the other pioneers on Zoom tonight. And we will have a face-to-face celebration in the future, and just salute you in the way that you deserve to be saluted. Thanks again, and have a good night, everyone.